Hi everybody, new video from Big Apple Pipes. Today I'm going to review another small batch from Cornell Diehl. You saw it from the title, it is the From Beyond by Cornell Diehl. But this time I really didn't want to talk about a special tobacco because at the beginning when I received the email about this tobacco, I was really unimpressed. I said to myself, okay, this time I'm safe, I'm not gonna get it, I'm good. And this is because it's an English mixture, right? So I'm not a big fan of English mixture. You know it if you follow the channel. I used to be a big fan, but now I'm mostly a Virginia lover. So I was like, okay, I don't care about this tobacco. But however, this is the power of marketing really pushed me into it, and I had to get one thing to try it. I had to, okay? And the reason is, first of all, its name, From Beyond. I am big Lovecraft fan. I know that Jeremy Reeves is. I know that there is an entire series of Cornell Diehl tobacco dedicated, or better, inspired by the work of Lovecraft. I wanted to use a Lovecraftian location for this video, so that's why I'm here. But if you stay with me at the end of the video, you will see a much more Lovecraftian location. And if you're a fan, I'm sure you will be crazy about it, as I will. But I will go there once I finish the tin, so in approximately a week or so. And yeah, the label is amazing. The title is the same title as a Lovecraft tale. But still, I was not persuaded. I was like, okay, I don't really care. Yes, I get it. This is inspired by a teen, an old Daniel Nightcap teen from the 80s. The Nightcap, as I described to you, talked about it to you in the video dedicated to the Peterson Nightcap. It used to be a very strong, full-bodied English mixture, which is something quite unusual because usually English mixture are not full-bodied, are not very strong, but the Nightcap was. And as Jeremy Reeves says, it's because it's a very nice balance and interplay between Virginias and the use of Perique, because Latakia is non-nicotine. So if you want to get body, you have to play with other ingredients. So I wanted to do the same thing. That's what he said. Okay, right. And I was like, okay, yeah, okay, I get it. I never really liked the Nightcap, so I don't really care. But then I reviewed it, and I was like, okay, maybe I can try the From Beyond, so I can, think how it's supposed to be, right? Even if it's a 40-year-old team, the one that inspired this tobacco. But that still didn't do the trick. I was not persuaded. I was like, yeah, I don't really care about Nightcap, so who cares? But what really changed my perception of this tobacco, and the click, what made me want it, was like Jeremy Reeves describing this tobacco as, quote, it tastes like shadows in the woods, unquote. If anybody describes you a tobacco, not just this one, a tobacco like this, what can you do? If you're a passionate pipe smoker, what can you do? You have to try it, right? So you have to. So, shadows in the woods, I had to try it. I had to get it. So I got one tin just because I had to get it. And now, let's go, pop it, and taste it, and I'll let you know how it is, and if it is anywhere close this description, if it is worth it. But I will also be looking forward to be hearing from you if you try it. So yeah, I had to get it. I could not get it. It's like this. It's From Beyond. Let's go. Here it is. The tin. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This black and green with these tentacles that remind us of Toulouse and the other Lovecraftian monsters. Very, very cool, very captivating. Then we know that this belongs to the Old Ones series. The Old Ones are, the gods in the Lovecraft books. And then each of these tobaccos have a different story, a little tale that is here, which is, quite cool and quite fun. In this case, we have the unseen world is fraught with danger. To ignore it seems foolhardy, yet to behold it would invite madness. This decadent blend of Cypriot Latakia, mattered Virginias, aged Orientals, and pure St. James Perique will open your mind to infinite possibilities. Will you turn a blind eye, or will you embrace the beyond? And, well, as I explained you earlier, I decided to embrace it because I got this tin, because I wanted to try it. I have just popped it for the Italian channel. And now I just show it to you as well, how it looks like, which is honestly pretty cool. As soon as I popped the tin, I was like pervaded by the smell of this tobacco. Very, very smelly. Definitely not strong in Latakia, let me tell you. Definitely much more about Orientals and Perique. So it smells sweet, and there is that plum, but also that classical Perique smell that is a little bit like manure or grass, that kind of weirdly sweet uh, overtone. But yeah, I mean, as Jeremy Reeves perfectly explained, the nightcap was a full-bodied English mixture, and if you want a full-bodied tobacco, Latakia is not what you need. You need more other things. You need like Virginias and Perique. And when you smell this thing, what you can detect is definitely Virginias and Perique, less the Latakia. It's just a very small hint in the background. Very, very interesting, very sweet. So, I mean, I'm curious to try it at this point because it's very interesting. Yeah, definitely very interesting as a smell, because it's not like the classical English mixture. It's way sweeter and way nicer. So let's go. So here we are after 1 week with this From Beyond. I am finally at the Lovecraftian location I was telling you about at the beginning of the video, which is this house behind me, exactly this one, located at 169 Clinton Street here in Brooklyn, which is actually the last residence of Howard Philip Lovecraft here in New York. Before then, in 1926, he finally decided to leave New York for good and go back to his beloved Providence. Why is this interesting? This is interesting because, I mean, we know that is the years he spent here in New York, a couple of years from 1924 to 1926, were not very easy. He had very difficult times, very difficult, yes, time, yeah, very difficult time finding a job or finding any inspiration to write in general. He couldn't find a job as a writer. He first got married and then divorced, and in general, he was really not happy here in New York. He really hated probably the city. He couldn't stand the fact that it's so multicultural. To the point that the only writing we have about this period is it's one of his actually most famous um, tales. Can we call it tales? Yes, which is horror in Red Hook, and Red Hook is pretty much this area, so where he was living. And if you read that tale, you can actually see how much he actually hated this place. He really describes this street like filthy, corrupted. I mean, really horror. It's really the horror, and that's why he based the entire story here. Like the nearby port was this hub of people coming and going from all over the places, bringing their own religions and rituals and blah blah blah. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. And as you can see, it is now a pretty different place after almost 100 years. But what about this? I have to say that these are pretty good tobacco, pretty good English mixture. I think that Jeremy Reeves really nailed the concept of a full English mixture, at least in terms of body and taste. Not as full in terms of nicotine, definitely not strong in terms of nicotine. I smoked it a lot, even yesterday night, just because I was preparing this video. I did the 3 pipes in a row, like finished one, loaded the second one, started up, and they didn't have any issue with nicotine whatsoever. So it's very light in nicotine, but it's pretty nice in pretty low in nicotine, pretty nice in terms of body. There's a lot of Perique. Perique is really the main component here. I don't know if you have more Perique than anything else, but it's the one you can taste the most. Since the first puff, you have this tangy, ticklish kind of feeling in your nose and your mouth. It's very, very nice. A lot of Latakia as well. Very smooth in terms of Virginia, and this is what it's very fun. Is because you have this balance between this pepperiness always there, with this smoothness, almost velvety, creamy with this tobacco. So it's very, very well made. I do have enjoyed it mostly at night, giving myself time, enjoying a good movie. So it is definitely what it was supposed to be, the nightcap. Well, maybe it was the nightcap and it's not any longer. But very good. I don't know if you had the chance to find it and buy it. If you did, let me know what you think. But yeah, very, very good job. An English mixer I really enjoyed, which is not very common. I don't really enjoy English mixture any longer, not very often. It's very, I'm very picky on that. And this one, I did totally, and gave me the chance to go back to my beloved Lovecraft and explore these areas which I didn't do before. Yeah, let me know what you think about both the Brider and this tobacco, and I'll see you next week. Bye.